Tony Hawkins has got a podcast. I hope he's better at this than he is washing the kit, because he was fucking useless.
A strange boy indeed, but there'll be more of that strange boy later on in the show, won't there, Tone?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, so what we got? Episode 16, I know that. I'm sure it is. I'm 100% convinced.
Yeah, the square of 4.
Might be 15, now when I come to think about it. Oh, I can't fuck noise. It's 14, 15 or 16. It's one of those three. We'll suss it out later on. Nothing much to talk about. Derby County, I believe that was about it.
I believe that is it, yeah.
That
Just Derby County at home.
Yeah, it should be another short one this week, hopefully. Neither of the pair of us are the least bit well, are we, Tony? We'll just spend 10 minutes telling each other how ill we are. There'll be a lot of that from me tonight, coughing. So sorry.
We're just not very good at
being young.
life, I suppose.
That's what we're not good at, Tony, being young, because we're both old, and I'm considerably older than you. So you've got all this to look forward to, Tony.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Another 10 years of this. Right, did you go? So I did go, because I seen you, didn't I? Outside the old door.
Yes, indeedy. Did indeedy do.
I didn't think it was a bad game, to be quite honest. I mean, you can't.
You know, I've seen that. I've seen this game played by us. I don't know how many times.
Okay.
It seems to be always the same. We have the best of the first half, I suppose.
Cracking goal. Can't take that away from that boy. That was a belter.
What's that? The
goal. Our goal.
Oh yeah. I was so pleased for him. Because I'd actually got into the bar and I turned round as he was running through and saw him score it. But you know the headed goal that was disallowed.
Theirs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Half.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
I've watched it over and over and I can't see how it's offside.
I reckon he was onside. Oh well, that would have been 4-1 then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean there is a fraction of a second before the ball is kicked where he may have taken a step backwards. I don't know, but anyway, it was given offside to our delight, of course. And that most wonderful of noises.
Yeah,
a huge away end going. Yeah.
That was good. We've got a tweet about them, but we'll keep it for later on.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, disappointing result, but overall, if you'd watched that and you weren't engaged with either team, you would have thought it was actually quite a good game. I thought it was all right.
Yeah, the quality was high, I'd say. I mean, yeah, that what turns out to be an absolutely amazing save by their keeper from a header from Bradley Johnson, I think it is.
That's right, yeah, because they were all saying, what would they call him, Agent Johnson or something, weren't they? The old Derby fans.
Turns out they were right in the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, they. I also didn't realise that our goal came directly from a corner of theirs, and was 2 passes, and he was away.
I remember he ran the full length of the pitch. I can remember that, thinking, God,
yeah. I mean, when the ball was played, he was still in his own half and went round the keeper nicely, finished it nicely. Can't argue with that, really, can you?
No, not really.
And then, of course, 2 minutes later...
Yeah, that was it. All over, really.
Yeah, so I've no idea why Derby didn't leave a man back. That's unusual these days. They usually leave a man back, don't they?
Yeah, maybe they just didn't think we were any good and we were going to do anything with it, even if we did get it.
Yeah, it was a strange one, because you don't see that very often.
No,
particularly... Well, you do see what happened 2 minutes later, obviously, quite a lot with us.
I mean, their guy had said,
scoring from a corner unchallenged.
Yeah, their manager said something along the lines of that basically our team had been gutted, hadn't he, in the summer kind of thing. So he's probably just thinking, these bunch of kids are not going to do anything, are they?
It definitely was gutted.
Oh, he's right.
So at half time, things weren't looking too bad. Disappointed, obviously, to let that goal in, and then for some reason, Agent Johnson heads that I still can't at the time, because I was sat with Callum again, and he was saying, "It's ref, the linesman's put his flag up. He's put his flag up."
Oh, he did, yeah.
And I thought, why has he put his flag up? Because it's clear there was Bradley Johnson that headed the ball to him. And again, it's just these mystifying things that he does. These ridiculous things that he does. And this now means that next week he's going to go and score a couple of goals and win a game for us.
I'm just of the opinion now that he's just a bit of a nuisance, to be quite honest. If he was to go in January...
Bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre how he... I don't know, I mean, I don't think he mistimed it or...
No.
It was a very, very odd thing to do. Very odd indeed. But, yeah, I mean, we... Other than them scoring 2 more goals in the second half, and I think they probably had overall better possession, it just felt like the sort of game we've seen so many times where a big team comes with a big crowd, we make a good account of ourselves, but somehow manage to lose 2-1, 3-1, 1-0, whatever it might be. It just felt like that. I've seen it so many times at our place.
Yeah.
Time and time again. And, again, we can say, yeah, we did well, but we've lost 3-1. We're still 4th from bottom.
Are we 4th from bottom? That ain't too bad, considering how shit we've been.
Well, we didn't move anywhere. We're still in the bottom 4.
Yeah. I don't know where we are, to be quite honest. I've actually have a wee check of that. Just something to do.
Yeah, we are. I'm pretty sure we're still 21st. We didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a... I don't know, really. It was an odd... It wasn't an odd day, was it? Just like fucking another... I was disappointed because I genuinely thought we would have got something out of that, to be quite honest. I really did.
I wouldn't say I was, overly optimistic. I thought that they're no mugs. I mean, they have had a bit of a dodgy run, but they were still 7th. They was still just outside the playoffs. So they're not terrible. No. They've not had a terrible start to the season.
Yeah,
so
we're 21st. And they are 6th. Yeah, I think they've gone up 1 place, haven't they?
They moved up from 7th to 6th with that win. If you look at where we are in 21st, there's gaps beginning to appear now. So even if we won our game in hand, we would be on the same points as we'd go above Accrington and Stanley. But there's a 6-point gap to Cambridge in 18th. Cheltenham are on 19. So, and when you look at the last 5 games, we're talking about improvements. But realistically, in the league, it's the last 5 is lose, lose, win, draw, lose.
That's not good, that. Is there any news on when that Lincoln game is going to be?
I still haven't seen it rearranged. No,
I haven't. No.
We have got a we have got a game in the Pizza Cup, which went completely under the radar.
When's that?
On Tuesday night.
What? Last night?
No. This coming Tuesday, we've got Newport County at home in the Pizza Cup.
Oh, right. I didn't... What, next Tuesday? That shows you how much attention I paid to that shit.
I honestly wouldn't have known.
Realised whether it was Tuesday.
Had I not been looking... I can't remember what I was doing. I was trying to find the league table and saw that had been slotted in there, like almost...
That's good for us, I guess.
Well, I suppose, there's progress another few rounds in that and you're at Wembley, so...
Oh, that ain't going to happen, mate. Tuesday the 15th. That's last night, wasn't it? So is it next Tuesday, you say?
Tuesday, the 22nd of November, 2022.
Yeah,
7 o'clock
kick-off.
Oh,
that's a stupid time to kick off that game off. It really is. Like a waste of time.
Yeah.
Waste of everyone's time, that is.
I think it's to attract more kids in it.
Children! That's not
I'm not sure it works.
No, it's not. Waste of everyone's time, that competition, until you get a bit closer to Wembley, and then when you get put out, you just think, there you go. I'm glad I didn't go to any of them.
Well, basically, it is Wembley, isn't it? That is really the only...
That is the trophy, isn't it? Just getting there, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I can't see...
Big slice of pizza.
What sort of crowd can we expect for that next Tuesday?
That, I should think that would be even lower than the last one.
I was a bit surprised, as I said last week, that the FA Cup attendance was as bad as it was, but it's just the way things are, the general feeling at the moment.
There's a malaise over the club at the minute. It's not shaking it, are they? No matter what they're not trying to do anything. No matter what they try, they're not doing anything, are they? So it doesn't matter.
No, but there were seats and chairs in Lewington, so...
Was there? I didn't go up to Lewington's this weekend. By the time I got to
seats and tables, sorry. Not many, but there were some.
Right. Did you partake of one?
I did not partake. Gordon, if he sits down, generally can't get back up again.
I know how he feels, to be quite honest. I have to keep standing all the time.
He tends to stand a lot.
Yeah, and me. If I sit down, that's me, mate. It takes me holding on to things to get up now.
So it was a little bit busy out in Lewington's. It wasn't too bad. So nice to see tables and chairs arriving. I don't know. I'm hoping that's not all the tables and chairs that are going to be there.
It was quite...
We will see.
It was busy outside. I mean, that's the first time I've driven for a while because I've got that new car. So I drove in where I normally park is in outside one of the factories, but it had been all fenced off, and I thought, you bastards. So
the traffic after the game was absolutely horrendous.
Great, was it? I had to try and get up to bloody Newton Longville. It fucking took me from the over about 40 odd minutes it took just to get from the stadium.
It took half an hour to get. We left at the final whistle. My dad picks my mum up, so I got a lift with them. He usually parks in the bus stop by the gym.
I know,
the police had taken that over, so he had to park in the industrial units across the road. So we had to walk down the grass to cross over to get there, and then it was a decision: what is going to be the easiest or worst way to go? So we decided to go up past Tesco, down that way.
I came back round and went
But it was absolutely rammed.
It was
both ways. I mean, the Derby fans must have done their homework on finding places to park because
most of them were parked where I should have parked, the bastards.
Yeah, I could have walked home, back again, and then home again, and back again, and home, and still been back by the time I actually got dropped off.
Well, I was in Mount Farm. That's where I normally park, but I came round the front of the stadium to get. I thought I'll go up through Bletchley, because there's so many roads closed with this bloody East-West Wales shit. And of course, that was a massive mistake coming round the front of the ground, wasn't it? You just think, oh shit, 6,500 guys from Derby just wandering all over the road, with some sort of sense of it, I don't care if you hit me, mate. You just think, well, fair enough.
Yeah, that is definitely a thing with away fans, isn't it? Is that, safety in numbers like a school of fish being served by a shark. You can only get one of us.
Yeah, it looked like that. I think how none of them get run over, because I just thought you guys are just wandering into the middle of the road. It's like a dual carriageway, but obviously no one got hit. But it was all right. I mean, we've had a tweet about them. Well, not about them. We've had one here from Matthew James, and he's said, opinion on giving large away allocations. Appreciate the cash injection it provides, but does it not reduce what little home advantage we have, considering our position in the league? Don't know what that means. On in the league, position in the league.
Well,
I guess.
that's not Derby County's fault and their fans. It's just a lack of people coming to watch us.
I genuinely thought that they were one of the better supports we've had away. I thought they were really good, and I thought they were brilliant. To be quite honest, they really were. There was no maliciousness.
Yeah, they're a little bit. They remind me of the Ipswich fans. They're a little bit paint by numbers, aren't they?
But there was no maliciousness, was there, Tony, or any of that nonsense? They were just getting behind their own team, weren't they? To be quite honest, I thought they were all right.
Bit disappointed with a few of them with the minute silence.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. All right, they're all wankers, to be quite honest. I forgot all about that.
That was. I mean, their own fans were shouting at each other, "Shut the fuck up!" I heard one of them say.
I don't get that. Why people would do that?
It makes no sense whatsoever.
It's a really difficult. It's become like I was waiting. I thought, I just know what's going to happen here. People are going to start clapping here as soon as he stops blowing that trumpet. People are going.
But again, that was the Derby fans. They did that.
They started first, and then. Well, I didn't clap because
I didn't.
I'm not a fucking idiot, to be quite honest. But there was loads of people around me clapping.
In Trevor's script, it should have been clear. It should have been, it will last 3 minutes. Yeah. There will be, but he did also say, and we ask you to remain silent throughout.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so not difficult to follow, really.
It's a stupid thing. This is a controversial opinion. I mean. Obviously, I'm all for the minute silence where that's concerned, but I genuinely think that there's far too much of that clapping in business now and football. You just think there should be that, and that is it for me as far as I'm concerned, you know. But if there was
Yeah,
that,
I mean, the clapping thing is fairly recent, and I don't have an issue with it. If it's an ex-player,
I don't normally have an issue with
a minute's
it.
applause is great, but this is entirely different.
Yeah.
This is something over 100 years old now, and
people should appreciate what it's about, But do some
you're
research.
supposed to, the silence is there for you to reflect and think about it, but people clapping.
We
not
did
going
the
to help you
minutes on the
do
2
that.
minute silence on the Friday, whenever it was last Friday. I was at work in some guy's house, and there was someone else with me, and it came on, and we sort of thought, you don't really know what to do you? So we just stood for a couple of minutes until the radio started playing again, So it's not hard, is it, to not fucking shout?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be organised either.
No.
You should know. You should know that 11 o'clock you stop for 2 minutes. Whatever you're doing, you stop.
But that
If you're
apart
at work
from
and
the guy...
you have to tell people, then so be it. But I mean, I suppose. But I don't know.
I said to my lad, like I said, see if they score. I said, I'll bet you there's a smoke bomb. And the first time they scored, there wasn't. And I thought, bastards. But the second time there was. I just see, I told you, right? No, I ain't got a problem with them. I mean, it's a difficult situation. We need the money, don't we? I mean, how much money did that bring in? 6,500 of them, That's no insubstantial amount of money for a club in our position, is it, really?
It's not. It's not at all. And actually, the person that threw that flare...
Well, he would have been out on his arse,
I have seen a crystal clear photograph of
there
him.
You go, then. He'll get him,
holding it in his hand, grinning like an idiot. He is going to be significantly, presumably a lifetime ban if they can track him down. But it will not be difficult to recognise from the photo of him because it's so clear. And good luck to him catching him and banning him. I hope he does get caught.
It's just a stupid thing, isn't it? I'd rather people didn't do it. I don't think it looks particularly good, I think it looks a bit shit, really, to be quite honest. Says a man whose actual Twitter banner is us away at Wimbledon with a whole load of smoke bombs,
Yeah, that's true.
Ours look good. I don't mind it if we do it. It's when everyone else does it, it's shit.
Oh yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's like the same with anything, isn't it? It's like that's what I love about Twitter is
do as I say, mate.
You've made me angry. What's that Ricky Gervais thing that he says? You're advertising guitar lessons or something. I don't want guitar lessons. Why are you advertising? I don't want to learn the guitar. I'm offended. I'm outraged. Yeah.
I got another tweet here now. This is from David H. Now, old David here has taken a leaf out of our book, Tony, and starts his tweet with, as someone who didn't attend the game, here is my summary.
Thank you very much. What does he say?
Says, a much better performance where we didn't take our chances than they did. Defensive set pieces were the main problem, similar to the Cheltenham game. Now, this last sentence, Tony, I have absolutely no idea what he's on about. He has said, didn't rate Kings of the Wild Frontier. Oh, he's listened to it last week, hasn't he, the old Adamant? We said people should listen to it, shouldn't we?
Yeah, the Kings of the Wild Frontier. I mean, is he serious?
Well, he said he didn't rate it to him. He's not listened to it. If he'd listened to that, you would think, well, this is not bad, the old drumming.
I mean, just the drumming alone is... I mean, listen, if he's... Oh, I'm choking here. I'm choking.
I tell you what was on the radio today. Remember, I can't think what they were called. The Ants that left Adam and they started another band with that young girl. What were they called? C30, C60, C90 Go. What were they called, those?
What?
They had... Adam and the Ants split up, didn't they? And the Ants went and joined Malcolm McLaren, the Sex Pistols manager, and there was a young girl that sang with them, and they had a song called C30, C60, C90 Go, and it was just exactly like Adam and the Ants, because it was them, wasn't it? What were they called? I can't remember now.
C30, 630.
C30, C60, C... Have you never heard that? You need to do something.
Wow, wow.
Bow, wow, wow, Tony. That was it. Yeah, it was on the radio yesterday.
Go wild in the country
where snakes in the grass are absolutely free. Good song, that. Yeah, there you go. Try and listen to that then, mate. See if you like that any better than Adam and the Ants.
No, hold on a minute. Let's go back to Kings of the Wild Frontier and let's just have a shufti.
Right, go on.
At the track listing.
The track listing.
Dog eat dog. I mean, what a start.
Classic, Tony.
What a start. and music.
And music.
Then it slows down. Feed Me to the Lion's a very dark track.
Oh.
Then it bumps up again. Los Rancheros, and it's all wee Ants Invasion, and
Ants
it comes
Invasion's
back down
a good
again.
song, that.
Killer in the Home again, another dark one. Then side B.
I hope you're remembering this,
Tony. Don't know what side B means.
I genuinely hope you're remembering this and not reading it off or something.
Oh no, I'm reading the track list as it is, but I remember every single song. Kings of the Wild Frontier, I mean, it's the title track. It is a classic. The Magnificent Five, which I always thought, for some reason, was by Madness, but obviously that's
Magnificent Seven.
Magnificent Seven. Don't Be Square B there. Quite an upbeat, sort of chirpy, bit of a fun
I'm
song.
going to have to be
Jolly
honest with you.
Roger, hoist the Jolly Roger.
I'm going to have to be honest with you, Tony. I really only know the singles, to be quite honest. I'm saying it's a good album.
Right. Well, then there's Making History, and it finishes with The Human Beings. The only one of those tracks that I don't remember is Making History. All the others I remember. I mean, I must have. I don't know how many times I listened to that. I had a not a Sony Walkman, because no one could afford a Sony Walkman.
Sony, mate.
Mine was a UNICEF brand, actually.
UNICEF. I think that's
It was actually the same
UNICEF.
letters as well. I don't know if it was a coincidence
Was it
or
like
if
a charity?
UNICEF was selling personal stereos, but yeah, I listened to that album endlessly.
A sideline and ending.
endlessly.
Yeah, our main thing's ending global hunger, mate, but we do a nice sideline of Walkmans, mate, if you're interested.
Yeah, so I didn't have the vinyl, I had the tape.
Disappointed you didn't like that album. Oh well, give Bow Wow Wow a go, mate. They were a good band, them.
Bow Wow, yeah, I only remember Go Wild in the Country.
You don't remember C30?
The snakes in the grass are absolutely. The lead singer, she had like a shaven-headed, almost
That's it,
not Mohican, and then long dreads, wasn't it? I think. If I remember
Annabella Lou Wynn, that was her name. She's still going. She still trades under that name, but I think it's just her in the load of tapes. Good luck to her.
Go wild, go wild, go wild. That's in my head now for the rest of the night.
There you go, listen to that, mate. Right, well, that's us. What have I done?
Yeah. Oh, I've got an email.
Oh, who's it from, Tony? Need to ask. Is it from,
let me have a look.
is it from the guy we...
It's from our friend Rag.
Rag, right, okay.
What his first name is? Do you reckon? Oh, I know what it is. I reckon Jam. We'll call him Jam.
Jam.
I've just worked out what RAG means, actually.
Yeah, and me, yeah. It took me... I did get it last week.
It literally just dawned on me now.
Well, that you just getting
so, Rag,
Rag,
as he's known, or Jam, as we're going to call him now, says, November Films, ?
Oh.
Now, I don't know how he knows these are November films. I don't know, but he says, Planes, Trains and Automobiles, anyone? Adam's Family Values, You've Got Mail, and American Gangster.
Were they released in November, or are they November themed?
I don't know. I don't. Rag doesn't. I mean, I could go and look, but I'm not going to.
There is a film actually called November. It was. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm on IMDb. Oh, hang on. I've missed it. What have we got? Now I'm getting all the people that were in The Crown. There's one called November. It's released this year. Another one called November. It was released in 2017. There's Sweet November, released in 2001, starring Keanu Reeves and Charlize Theron.
Oh, but that was amazing.
There's another one here, November Christmas. That's probably not up old matey's street, is it? You can't have Christmas in
right,
November.
okay. Well, I think your guess is probably right, because Planes, Trains and Automobiles was released on the 25th of November, 1987.
Well, there's loads of films. There's November Criminals. There's one here called The November Man, starring Pierce Brosnan. I like him. Another one's simply called November. God, it never ends. I wish I'd never looked now. There's hundreds of November films, mate.
An American Gangster, which is a very good film, was also released November the 2nd in the United States, apparently.
See, this is where he's let himself down, old Rag, because he could have gone and actually got films entitled November, couldn't he?
Well, yeah, that would have been more logical, but there you go.
Logic does not feature heavily in that man's thinking, does it, Tony? Quite honest.
He continues, and you're going to love this.
There's more.
Have either of you got on the air fryer bandwagon?
Yes! God, yes!
Yes, I've had one for some considerable time. I've had a couple, actually. I've now got the Ninja Max 500.
I was in the house last week and they had a Ninja one.
Anyway.
I thought of you last week. I was in the house. They were cracking out the old Ninja one. Yeah, we've got. I can't think what ours is. It's good. It is good. It's God. See, this Penelope does this chicken stuff. God Almighty, mate! It's unbelievable. See, if you don't have one, you should get one, or else you're an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, if I've got one and JT's got one and Rag's got one, why haven't you got one? Well, he says they are amazing. What's the best thing you've bought recently from Aldi or Lidl T? T meaning me.
I was in Aldi's recently. I was in there
best
Friday.
thing you bought from Aldi or Lidl recently?
I bought this massive tub of yogurt. I really like natural yogurt. We were in there, you know, the one that's up next to where he works, if it is indeed where that person might work. You know, next to like home, bloody not home base. What's it called? Curry's. That one. Is that Aldi next to the railway station?
Yeah.
We're up there.
Oh yeah, that's a new one, isn't it?
Yeah, a massive big tub of yogurt. That's the last good thing I got out of there, mate.
Yeah, I can't remember. I did buy something in there.
Well, we're talking about you when we were up there on Sunday.
I can't remember what it was, but nothing of any consequence.
No, there's nothing good at the minute now.
And he asked, how is the 20-litre compressor getting on? And just stay away from the mushrooms and Ricketts shampoo.
I'll tell you right about that. See that? Remember we didn't do one a couple of weeks ago? We had a probably more than that. And I thought, rather than not do one, I'll put that out, right? So I listened to it and I thought, shit, there's no way on earth we can... How on earth were we thinking with that? Just there's no way on God's green earth.
I listened to it a couple of months ago.
Jesus, you couldn't put that out, could you? Couldn't. It was different times, Tony.
You know, I don't think there was anything...
There was a couple of things that were pretty bad.
Yeah, all right, okay. Yeah, you could say there was some homophobic slurs in there.
There was.
But they were only to wind up Ross, who was... I don't know who Rag is, obviously. Just to wind Ross up, because even then he was always very politically correct. So, yeah, if you took offence to those, no offence was meant, but...
It wasn't. I was trying to
wind up Ross.
I was trying to be as offensive as I possibly could be, and I think listening back, I succeeded.
Well, yeah, you did a pretty good job. I'm going to say you did have a very good job with that.
So that's a secret podcast. If you'd like to listen to that podcast, please contact us, and I'll send you a link to it if you like.
Yeah, it is probably the funniest podcast we've done.
It's very funny. Right, shall we get back to football? So all in all, just a particularly... I don't even think I was that disappointed, to be quite honest. I mean, I was disappointed we didn't win, but the performance was better. But equally, like you say, we're still in the relegation zone. So
yeah, we still lost 3-1. We missed a lot of chances. So
we did.
That is a plus that we had those chances. I mean,
I thought Greg was pretty ineffectual, and I've been standing up for the guy recently, even to random people in the stands that are slagging him off. But you couldn't really... I think he's playing deeper than he likes to play, I think. Yeah.
And he's receiving the ball to his feet, which isn't... I mean, he can distribute well. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you are the number 9 on your own, who are you distributing to? Obviously he got his goal, Louis Barry. Great finish. That's been a long time coming. It will be... Yeah, I think we're seeing a starting 11 now, which is becoming sort of fairly regular, I think, is with a couple of change here and there. But I mean, we competed well, we had good possession, no complaints about the performance as such, except for the defending at set pieces again was. I mean, and to let a goal in that quickly again after we'd scored. I mean, we did come out on top possession-wise, and we had 59% possession, 13 shots, 4 on target. They had 8 shots, 3 on target, and scored 3 times. There were a lot of corners, I remember. They had 9, apparently.
Blimey.
I don't think we haven't mentioned the referee. I thought the decision not to give the offside for their goal was excellent.
He did book them for time wasting, didn't he?
Yeah, and
they were good at doing it.
He's making a rod for his own back there, because it's the most ineffectual yellow card there is, because it's just going to make him do it even more, because he knows that
he's not going to get booked
almost
again,
without exception. A referee's not going to book you again for the same thing. But
That's a very
He
good thing.
did get in quick to do it, yeah.
That would be a brilliant statistic. Has a goalkeeper ever received 2 yellow cards for time wasting?
I think
I'm
so.
going to say no.
I have a vague memory of it happening. I'll see if I can find it, actually, because it is one of those things that everybody should remember, really.
Maybe it will happen at the World Cup. That'd be funny, wouldn't it?
Oh, I wonder what silly rules they're
Bringing in.
going to bring in. They always have one silly rule, don't they, that they enforce for the first 3 games and then give up on.
It's kind of passed me by this, to be quite honest.
Well, it has, hasn't it? I think I don't know if they're trying to. I don't. I mean, the whole thing about it. I've just actually before we started this, I was watching the FIFA thing on Netflix about all the corruption and.
Right, gonna be that went on for a while.
I don't know how many episodes it is, but I'm watching episode 1,
and
they were talking about the Argentina World Cup being, along the similar lines in terms of controversy for Qatar, and everybody, myself, is not going to stop me watching it.
No,
and that's the sad thing about it is that, as much as I agree with people saying that it shouldn't be in Qatar, and for the reasons that they're giving, I'm still going to watch it.
I think you have to separate your justifiable antipathy towards a country, if it is indeed a country, because it's about the size of Devon, isn't it? Apparently someone was saying it's really small, isn't it? Your antipathy to their, for want of a better way of putting it, way of life and standards, into the fact that, well, it's a World Cup and I am going to watch it, because I'm not going to deny myself watching the World Cup, even though it's November, it's pouring the rain, it's dark, it's cold.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. It's in a country that has questionable human rights
questionable, you say, Tony?
Questionable. I'm being diplomatic. Questionable human rights. They don't like the gays.
They do not like you're gay, Tony.
They're not keen on them. And I saw a headline. I didn't read what it says, but it said Qatar is going to be a cross between Fire Festival and Woodstock '99.
So I'm going. I wish I was going now.
That's interesting. That should be interesting to see.
I was reading something in The Guardian this week. The demographic of the population is something like 70% male to 30% female. Just like unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about them not being keen on the gays, but women have little rights as well, and
it's a ridiculous situation.
It never comes up on our radar, because I was chatting to someone the other day about the news that we see and the way that it's reported to us, and the more I think about it, someone said to me, the greatest ever war crime was America dropping nuclear bombs. And when you think about it, absolutely right. Imagine if that was Russia.
But Japan just wouldn't surrender, would they, Tony? That's a problem. It's all right. I mean, I'm not. I was a member of CND. I was on the executive committee of Youth CND in Scotland. So you don't need to tell me about, but Japan would not surrender, wouldn't they? They just wouldn't stop fighting. They're probably still fighting now, some of them, aren't they, in those jungles?
Well, there was that old joke, wasn't there, about not even a joke, was it? They actually did find a Japanese soldier in Burma or somewhere like that.
I've got a bit of trivia, Tony.
1978 or something like that.
Here's a bit of trivia.
Goalkeepers have been sent off.
Have they? For 2 yellows, right? Good.
For 2 yellow cards, yeah.
For time wasting.
Most notably, apparently, in Israel's Toto Cup, our version of the Carabao Cup.
Of course. Why did I not remember that?
In August last year.
Only last year, blimey.
Yeah, so you can go and Google that, and there was one in 2020, but I'm sure I've seen it in.
There was a lot of time wasting from Derby, in retrospect, that I didn't think was a team. I mean, they're not Derby of 4 or 5 years ago, are they? When old Frank Lampard had them in the playoffs, but you just think you're Derby.
Yeah, but then they're no different to any other team these days, and it's becoming, for me, it's a part of the game that I've never liked. And I was quite proud that it's not something that we did, and it started with Robbie Nielsen, really, and it was players going down injured or not injured. Yeah. Invert commas injured in the 84th minute, just sitting down in the middle of the pitch. And I thought, I don't want, and I thought that once, because I remember when one thing that our goalkeepers would do would be catch the ball and then fall on it.
Yep, that was the thing.
Almost by default. And I remember first game of the season, Oldham away, I think it was. It was when the Scottish fella that we said was going to be rubbish, but actually turned out to be quite good.
Peter Pawlett.
McGrandles? Was it
Conor
McGrandles?
McGrandles,
When he got his cheek smashed in.
And,
And, Lee Nichols caught the ball and fell on it, and I thought, oh, for fuck's sake, new manager's not changing this then. And after that, Lee Nichols didn't do it again, and I thought, oh, this is good. But then the diving stuff started, and it just seems to have stayed with us over that period of time. But we're not alone in that, and like you say, you wouldn't expect Derby to do it, but everybody's doing it now. And
I guess it's just a thing, it's part of the game, isn't it? It's gamesmanship now, isn't it?
And it's almost impossible to get rid of as well.
Yeah, it's not time wasting, Tony, it's gamesmanship, someone on this very podcast once said.
Game management.
That's it, game management, eh?
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't like it, but sadly, I think it's here to stay at least for a while, and everybody's doing it. It's the same thing with diving. Yeah, I remember David O'Leary, when he was Leeds manager, was screaming and shouting about players diving, and he said, well, you won't see my players do it. And then his players did start doing it, and he basically said, well, you know, they're not going to stop doing it, so if you can't beat them, join them, sort of attitude. And I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And
it's not
I've got no time for it at all, and it's not something I want to watch, but sadly, we have to, and we do.
Right, who have we got Saturday? I forget now.
So Barnsley away.
Barnsley away. You going?
No.
No, another one. Oh dear.
Now, as I said last week, did I say last week? I've got no enthusiasm
to go to any
for any of our games, any of our away games, except for Burton on the last day, because it's the only ground I haven't been to. Yes, so away to Barnsley, and then obviously Tuesday we've got Newport in the Pizza Cup. So prediction for Saturday, Barnsley away?
I'm going to go 1-1.
1-1, take a point, yeah?
Yeah, I'd take a point away at any game at the minute.
Yeah, Barnsley, they've won 2 in a row. They lost the previous 2 and drew the 5 games ago. So, again, never know what you're quite going to get with Barnsley. I will go a comfortable and quite surprising 2-0 win for us.
Wow, surprised you've said that. I reckon we'll do Newport, though, easily. I reckon we're into the next round of that cup. Without a doubt.
I'm going to go 3-1.
I'm going to go 4-0.
4-0.
Yeah, I'm going to put on a display, and then everyone.
Can I not tempt you into giving them a goal?
No, not this time. No.
We know what happened last time.
Yeah, I'm going 4-0.
I've ruined your prediction
Next Tuesday. Not that I'm interested. I mean, if it's 4-0, 5-0, or they beat us 8-0, I don't care. To be quite honest, it's just something I'll not be listening on the radio. Can you get that game on iFollow?
I would imagine it'll be on iFollow, yeah.
Well, I might watch it if I get it on iFollow. Oh, the World Cup will be on, won't it? That's some nuisance, isn't it? It'll be on at the same time,
that's the other thing about this World Cup that seems to be largely overlooked, is that we don't get... I mean, it's just the whole thing is... I think we're going to look back in, I would say 10 years' time, but we're going to look back in a year's time, 2 years' time, and think, that was a huge mistake.
It's a massive mistake. I mean, I think England kick off at 1 o'clock, don't they, on Monday?
Yes, they do,
and then Wales at 7 that night. So I'll watch the Wales game, but I can't watch any of the others. I'll be at work, won't I, you know? It's not like it's summer when you can sort of doss off in it and you just think, you can't, can you? You just can't do it. You can't, can you? I'll be listening on the radio, obviously. I'll listen to every game on the radio if I can while I'm at work, but I'm not.
I mean, who is it for? I mean, you've got, like I say, England at 1 o'clock, Senegal, Netherlands at 4 o'clock. Again, most people...
Oh, is that at 1, 4 and 7? Is that how it's going to work?
It looks like it, yeah. So there's a game at 10 o'clock.
I was just going to say
Tuesday morning.
Yeah, there's 4 games. There are 4 games on some days, eh? 10 o'clock. Jesus, no chance.
So I'm going to miss France, Australia, because I'll be watching the Pizza Cup game. Yeah, so...
Have you done any picks? Who's your pick for winning it? I know who the favourites are. I found out today.
You've got to go for the usual suspects, haven't you, really?
I found out today who the favourites are. The favourites are Argentina.
Yeah, Belgium, Spain, Argentina,
I've chosen Brazil.
Brazil are going to be up there.
I think I'm going to change though I'm going to change mine on the old forum to Argentina, because when I was listening to that like a podcast today, they were saying how good Argentina was, and I thought, right, I'm changing it to bloody. But I've not done Brazil yet, so could be maybe I should listen to when they do. Brazil.
Hold on, clear his throat. You can never write the Germans off.
No, they don't.
Let's make it more interesting. Who's going to be the dark horses that get to the quarters or the semi-final?
Oh, that's a good question, isn't it? Dark horses. I don't know, really. I've only looked at the ones that I think are going to win it. I couldn't even really tell you who is actually in it, apart from England, apart from the really well-known ones. I couldn't. I'm going to go Saudi Arabia, Tony. I'm going to go there. I'm going to do really well.
Saudi Arabia. So I don't know if you've followed the route through that England could possibly get.
No. Excuse me.
But in the round, I think it's called the round of 16.
That's it. Yeah.
If England finish top of their group, they'll play whoever finishes second in Group A. And Group A consists of the Netherlands.
Ooh.
They're quite good.
They are very good, eh?
The other three teams in their group are Ecuador, Senegal, and Qatar.
Well, I don't think Qatar are much of a... Well, I don't know. You don't know, do you? They'll get the home advantage.
Senegal are just lunatics, aren't they? Basically, the French B team, aren't they?
Dark horses, I don't know who to see. France are a team you got to keep an eye out for. They've got great players, haven't they, France?
Well, I would imagine France will certainly be... I would predict now semi-finalists.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I think they're going to go maybe not all the way. I don't know. Are they holders? They're who's world champions at the minute? It's France, isn't it? I can't think.
I genuinely don't know. I don't remember any. I don't remember any World Cup after
1966. That's when you stopped, Tony.
98. I remember my first World Cup was 1978, Argentina. I remember that fairly clearly. 82, Mexico.
I can remember 74. When,
was 82 Mexico? What was 86? Or was 86 Mexico?
86 was Mexico, wasn't it? Sure it was.
Italia 90, Mexico 90. 86, 92, 82. Oh, blimey, I can't remember what 82 was.
I can remember 74. That's when Holland got into the final, because I can remember watching that with my dad. And old matey gets sent off into that phenomenally good Dutchman. What's his name? The greatest ever Dutch footballer. I can't remember his name now. That's how good he was.
Johan Cruyff.
That's him. He gets sent off, didn't he? Sure he did. I can remember watching it with my dad. That was the summer, Tony, man. That was the olden days when you used to have the World Cups in the summer. Remember those old days, Tony? It used to be summer when you watched it.
Yeah, in the old days when it was, the football season had finished and you had the World Cup to look forward to.
I can't remember 1970, but I mean, I would have been 8 then, but I can't remember it. So I definitely remember 74. Definitely remember it as clear as day watching the final. Can't remember that because I don't know who Holland were playing.
82 was Spain.
That's it, yeah. Was it really? That's when Scotland get put out, wasn't it? Rather unfairly in every Scottish person's view of it. At least they were in it then. Managed to get in it.
I think I was watching a documentary on the Beeb about the Scotsman who went to Argentina in '78 and never came back, and is still there now.
I've seen that, yeah. And what's his name get deported for drugs, didn't he? One of the Scottish players. Can't think of his name now.
Was it Willie Miller? Is that
not Willie Miller? It was Willie someone. I can't remember.
It was the big Willie. It was the big Willie that played for Man United.
I think it was him. I don't want to disparage him in case it wasn't, but one of them got deported for drugs. I'm sure they did. all the Scottish people are going, "Yeah, well done, mate."
Yeah, that's it. You should remember something like that.
Good lad.
Yeah. So there you go, listeners. If you're not watching us, watch the World Cup.
But listen to us. Watch the World Cup with the sound turned down and listen to us.
Yeah, that's it. We'll try and stretch it out for 90 minutes plus extra time and half time.
It's quite shit, really, because we, when we had the podcast years ago, we always did some World Cup specials, but you can't do them now, can't we? Because our Dons are still playing. It's just an utter shambles, this World Cup. It really is. Just a pity. Do you even know when the first game is? It's Sunday. I'm not sure.
I think it's Sunday.
That'll be Qatar, won't it? Because they're the hosts. They always kick off first.
Sunday the 20th. Yeah, Qatar Qatar against Ecuador, 4 o'clock kickoff.
Whoa, what's that? That's Sunday coming.
Yeah.
See, this is the other shit thing about it. The football only finished on Sunday night, didn't it? Just gone. The Premier League finished last Sunday, like 3 days ago.
It's now beginning
actually.
to dawn on me that the World Cup and football in general might just be about money now.
You think that's right? Nah, I'm not having that one.
Well, the signs are there. Moving it to winter in the middle of a football season, starting it a week after the Premiership games are finished.
Like it's a disgrace.
I hope it better be fucking good. That's all I can tell you.
Well, I remember because they did a dual announcement, didn't they, back in 2010? They announced Russia, and then straight after it, they announced Qatar. I thought the Russian one was actually a really good tournament, to be quite honest. But I mean, putting aside Russia's.
But again,
Russia's somewhat.
You're asking yourself how does Russia at the time, I suppose, wasn't a terrible choice, but
they weren't bombing people.
it's the fact
they've moved on, Tony, from football to bombing instead. Bastards that they are.
Well, there you go. Right. Well, I think that's us done. Have we forgotten anything? Probably. Do we care?
Not really. Right, we will be back next week, where England will be at least
at least still in the tournament.
3 points, hopefully, and we'll have scored.
So.
And we'll have had a point away at Barnsley, so everyone's happy with that. Right, we'll be back next week, and we'll hopefully, if we've got nothing to talk about, we can talk about England and Wales. That's about it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Right, see you later then. Bye, everyone.